Marley, and I'm here to share with you my DMT experience. So, I'm going to share with you what I remember, a little bit of pretext into what I knew or thought I knew about DMT before I tried it. First of all, I've been taking shrooms for many years now, fairly regularly. I try to take shrooms about once a month, although it's been a little bit too long now just to defragment the brain and kind of connect to the universe. So I don't get too caught up in things that don't matter. It's kind of very refreshing to the soul. Never tried DMT or shrooms by yourself. Shrooms, maybe if you're an experienced user and you know what you're getting yourself into, that's one thing. DMT, definitely don't try by yourself. As Terrence McKenna said, he said something like, if you could blast off any harder than you do when you're on DMT, I wouldn't want to. And I agree. I don't know that I'll ever do it again. Knowing me, I'll probably try it again, but I'm gonna wait a while because it's quite the departure. I mean, you're completely gone. You're somewhere else. So at this point in my life, like I said, I've been using shrooms pretty regularly, and I had been given a vial of DMT by my ex-boyfriend's friend. Well, he gave it to both of us. So we had been carrying this around for months, and my ex had tried DMT many times, and he's an advocate of it, but I was told by a bunch of people not to try it until I was ready, right? And I knew it was going to be pretty scary. From different accounts that I had heard, like I watched that documentary DMT Experience, I knew it was like pretty heavy place to go into. That being said, at this point in my life, I really wanted a major change. I want to reset in my brain. I really wanted to uproot everything. So I had been in this relationship, and I wanted to get out of it for many months now, and I had a hard time doing so for a number of different reasons, which I don't have to get into, but the day before I tried DMT, I basically had to run away because I was sharing a car with this person, I lived with them, I worked with them, and I didn't really see any way to get away from them than to just kind of disappear. I texted them, I said, hey, I'm going to LA, my phone is dying, because I knew that they were going to follow me anywhere that I was. So I went somewhere else for the night, and I had been trying to break up with my ex for a while, and it just wasn't working, so I figured if I just disappear, he knows it's over. And I came back, and I knew, and I was like, I need to be starting a different path in my life. And I walked back into the house where he was staying, and he knew it was over, and I said, I'm ready to try DMT now. So he sat me down. The place where he was staying at was our friend's parents' house. We go into one of the bedrooms, he sat me down, and we had a bong. We packed a little bit of weed in it and sprinkled some DMT on it. The DMT was like a white powder. And he sat me down, he said, you want to be really comfortable. So he sat me down in bed, and I didn't realize that he was also going to do DMT at the same time, which I wouldn't recommend doing. If someone's going to be supervising you, they should probably be sober. But he sat me down, and this is what I remember. So I took the hit of DMT, and then there was an immediate audio and visual breakdown. Like it was kind of this like, and I saw these squares kind of forming as the visual reality around me was melting away. And then I remember there being colors and shapes, almost like you would imagine like a DNA helix kind of being formed, but way more complex. The colors were brighter than any colors I've ever seen in this world. There was more clarity than I've ever seen in this world. Like I can't say this enough. Like where I was transformed was literally more real than this existence. That was the strangest part about it. And also, as I recount all these memories from the DMT experience, I don't remember in what order it happened, because where your mind or soul or whatever you want to call it is transported to, there's no time in this place. That's another really strange thing about it. And it's evident that there's no time there. So at another point, I saw a red arc and all blackness, and at this point, it was the end of everything, and the whole world could feel the doom and the end of the entire world, and you could feel the doom and the end of the entire world, and that was definitely the most scary part of the experience, because you feel the heaviness of that and how irreversible it is. After that, or like I said, I don't know in what order this happened, but I'm gonna say I think even before this, maybe when I first slipped into the trance or experience or realm, whatever you want to call it, it started out as a sexual experience, and there was a body next to me, something like I was very attracted to. It was like a body that I was familiar with, but it didn't have like a particular identity, but something that was kind of familiar, and I started having a sexual experience with it. It was amazing. And my boyfriend, who was watching me, I guess, like kind of bitterly said, wow, I wish you had that much fun with me. You look like you're having so much fun. And I was. It felt like the most amazing sexual experience that you could possibly have. So at first there was another figure, a human figure, and then it was just me having this sexual experience with the universe. And then what felt like a sexual experience with God. And then at another point I saw the colors like being formed, and then almost like a birthing into something that was more familiar to this realm. Familiar shapes and images, but nothing like really that I could grasp onto. At another point, I became first, it was almost like the universe was talking to me in English, and they broke it down for me, and it was almost like I had passed like the final level of a video game, and all the balloons come down, like you won, like you were the perfect human, and you say what, and then all of a sudden you get all like basically everything you could ever desire, any sensation I could ever desire. It's like I still had my identity, but somehow I was this ball of light, this like all-powerful ball of light, and I still had my identity. And I said yes. I said, this is fucking awesome. And I was up on a ledge, and then I leapt, and then I wasn't really falling. I just I still had my it still had this shape of a human body, but I was like a ball of light. And I was flying and dancing at the same time, because I'm a dancer and a skydiver. So I think this was like my brain's idea of like the ultimate form. It's because I was falling. I was like this powerful thing. I was just going crazy, just maniacal with this kind of like power of the universe. That's what it felt like. Like I had all of the power of the universe inside me. So I'm just dancing, flying, like yes, fuck yeah. And I guess in real time, I had gotten up on the bed. I said, yes, this is fucking awesome. And I got up on the bed, did a swan dive I started to do a swan dive, leapt from the bed, and I guess my ex-boyfriend caught me right as I had like dove chest first into a dresser. And I heard either him or these spirit guides talking to me. He said, stop. And in my hallucination or my trip, whatever you want to call it, I felt myself, I pounded through concrete, because I was just kind of like drunk with this power of the universe. Like it was the most euphoric thing I'd ever felt in my life. and then I heard someone say, they said, stop, 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 stop. And it felt like almost they were saying, you can play here, but you have to stay in the confines of the rules here. If you go too far one way, then you can't come back. And some people, I've heard different accounts where they say that they see aliens, they see clowns, they see robots. I had one friend describe to me that the people that were, or the beings that were speaking to her in her DMT experience, she told me that they were like breath people, and some people relate to that too. Something that I felt like was unique about my DMT experience was that my spirit guides, or whatever was communicating to me, was very specifically my dad, my mom, my sister, and my godmother, and all of these people are still alive. At one point, I remember it was like blackness, darkness, and it was almost like this auditorium space, or just a circular space of some sort. And they were basically breaking down to me like how the universe works and what it is, and it was so beautiful and overwhelming that I couldn't take it. And I said, like, no, it can't be this, but it obviously is this. And it sounds, this is where it starts to sound crazy, because it was literally like having a conversation with God, and it's so beautiful and so much more vibrant and lucid and clear than this reality is, that as I came back, it almost made this reality feel like a dream, and that feel like the real reality, because I knew I'd spent more time there. I knew I'd spent more time in this place where there was no time. And I'm not sure if I remember anything else. I mean, I think when I came to, it felt like another sexual experience, and it felt like at one point I was God, and then I was having sex with God, and then I came to, and my ex was sitting across the room from me. I had ended up on the bed across from where it started. The bong was broken. There was bong water everywhere. The sheets were everywhere. I knew that something crazy had just happened in there. I looked at him, and he... Alright, so yeah, the last segment of that video got cut off at the end for some reason, but I guess just to sum it up, and just what I wanted to share was what I gained from the experience, and that would be to not be so hard on myself, to really not get caught up in things that don't matter, that this life is precious, and it's a gift, and I think we all are eternal, but it doesn't mean that this reality goes on forever. I definitely got a sense of the end, which is really scary. And it also just reminded me of how beautiful this life is, and how much choice we do have in this life. And I think we are all just parts of the universe, and we're like kind of avatars for the universe. Like each of us is like a telescope, a different perspective, and all our perspectives are really unique, and that's what makes us beautiful. So yeah, I think everyone should try DMT first. I would definitely recommend being sober for at least a few weeks before trying DMT. It's not like a party drug. It's for existential archaeologists. You know, it's for people that want to get them to know themselves better, I think. And yeah, it definitely helped me kind of reset my brain for a different part of my life that I really needed. It like helped me be more confident in how I really felt, instead of doing what I thought maybe other people wanted me to do, or trying to make other people happy. I finally was like, no, I know what I feel. Like, I have these feelings for a reason. I have this identity for a reason, and I can't be convinced that I don't. So yeah, I think my perspective of life has definitely changed in a really cool way since I tried DMT. Again, it's not a party drug. Don't do it alone. And I watched the first segment right now, and it wasn't a white substance, it was yellow. But yeah, I didn't seek this out. It's one of those things that they say finds you, and it did. Like I said, my ex's friend gave it to us, and he was like a shaman type in Albuquerque, which is a cool town. You should check it out. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope this enhanced your life in some way. Have a good night.